We have the visionary, the genius, the man behind everything at Jaguar. The guy who's penned down some of the most beautiful cars in the world, as Jeremy Clarkson would put in Top Gear anyways. So honestly, what sort of brought you to the design of Jaguar F-Type? What was your inspiration? Did you have jet fighters in the room of designing?
What was inspiration? My inspiration is to just create something that is a collection of beautiful lines and beautiful form. Now, if you look at our mood boards in the studio, the designers, I've got a good team of designers that we work very well together. That's part of our strength. They will have images of jet fighters, we'll have images of the controls, you see some of the stuff appearing in our F-Type, of course. They'll have images of beautiful architecture, they'll have images of lots of things. But at the end of the day, the reality is you need to create something that is just absolutely beautiful in every aspect, starting with the overall proportion, which we work very, very hard to get, whether it be the overall overhang, the height, the width, whatever it might be. And then we work the lines in, then we work form in, and we just slowly but surely build up something that we believe is going to be a pleasure for other people to look at. I don't really want to create something that is going to disturb people too much. I like to disrupt things a bit. I think the XJ disrupted a few people, but I'm happy with that. But at the end of the day, the lines are correct. And I think if the lines are correct, ultimately it'll become the right answer. The thing with a sports car, I was just talking to somebody earlier about this, why was it more difficult in many ways, which I declared it was, because with a sports car you expect it to be beautiful. You expect it to be absolutely beautiful without compromise. And that actually makes the whole statement more difficult. But we start off with a couple of lines, start off pencil paper, and we just hone it down to the bare minimum of what you need to create a beautiful car. And it's about what you don't put in it as much as what you do put in it. And that's why we get things the way we do.
Yeah, sometimes simple is the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
And to you, what is the F-Type? What is that for Jaguar to bring in the USA or in England?
Yeah, that's a very straightforward thing. Jaguar, throughout its whole history of 75 years, has been into sports cars. It started off that way. They were coach-built cars with performance engines, performance chassis, or ultimately they were in the 40s. And there were always cars that were looking more elegant, more sporty than everything else. And then along came the late 40s and 50s, the 120s, and the C-Type, D-Type. The whole ethos of Jaguar is built around sports cars and racing cars. That's what created the brand. That's what we stand for. And sadly we're not racing anymore, and maybe I hope one day we might be, but there's no plans to. But we are about to see the sports cars, and I think for me what this does, it's the first one since the E-Type incidentally.
Yeah.
It's hugely privileged to be part of, but this really makes a statement. We're back where we belong. And a lot of people say to me, why didn't you just recreate the E-Type? Well, one is we couldn't because legislation wouldn't let us do it. But my answer to that is if you really want an E-Type, buy an E-Type.
Exactly.
Because it's of an era. If I produced a car now in the modern day with the wheels set 6 inches into the bodywork, you would laugh at me. Yeah, so every car has its time, and hopefully this car, the F-Type, will have its time too.
I'm sure it will.